Hi, my friend. Welcome back to the Business Energetics podcast. Straight into story mode today. So I'm in the middle of a promo for CEO Club. I got this great idea, created this super juicy bonus for everyone that joins by like the deadline. By the way, it's amazing. And I'm also selling it separately if you missed it. And it's like 70% off right now. So I'll give you that in the episode. I will give you that. But today I want to share a story about what's been going on and what I realized this morning, and how about shifting your mindset as an entrepreneur and how retraining your brain literally transforms how you are, how you think, and your go-to thought. I feel like so many of us are like aware that our thoughts are important and they form our beliefs and then everything comes from there. But we kind of think that we're always going to be training ourselves to think differently. And we're always going to be in this like becoming state. And yes, to be becoming is to be alive. We're meant to be evolving beings. And I think becoming her, as I'm always talking about, is a moving target, and it should be. But I had a really cool experience today where I literally saw the result of all my reprogramming and all my intentional thought shifting over the years. And it's huge. It's huge for business owners. So I want to share that today. Okay. So basically, here's kind of what's been going on. I've been doing this promo for CEO Club, and I had sent a couple of emails about it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and schedule the rest of the emails out. My parents were coming to visit, so I'm going to schedule the rest of the emails out so I don't have to think about it. And so I was in Flowdesk, which is what I use for sending my email. Love them, by the way. And I was scheduling the emails, and I noticed as I was scheduling them, one of the emails had gone live. And as I was scheduling these emails for the future, the people that were receiving them, so like I segment out, I only want my fempreneurs to get these emails, and I don't want it to go to anyone that's, not on this list or that doesn't have a business, whatever. And as I'm segmenting them out and scheduling them, the number of people that will be receiving these emails was going down very gently, but like it was going down as I was scheduling these emails. So I'm seeing fewer people in the segment than before. And right away, like my first thought was, oh my God, literally as I'm sitting here working on these emails to send to people, they're joining. They're seeing the other email that went out this morning and that went out a few minutes ago, and they're joining CEO Club. Like, this is amazing. And I kept working on my emails and was just like super happy, whatever. Later that day, I was in my personal inbox, and I noticed an email from a clothing company that I just really don't buy from anymore. I haven't bought from them in years, and they're not my style anymore. And I saw the email from them, went in and hit unsubscribe. And when I did that, my mind flashed back to earlier that day where I had seen the number going down of people that were receiving my emails for this promo. And I had a split second where I thought, oh, maybe they weren't joining CEO Club. Maybe they were unsubscribing. And then immediately I was like, oh, whatever. Like, nah, they're joining. And like, I just didn't really, it was literally like a split second where the thought crossed my mind. And then I like didn't give it any other energy. And it made me realize, like, in the past, I would have been scheduling these emails, seeing the number gone down, and not only immediately assumed people were unsubscribing, but like spiraled into negativity and assumed the worst. I would have assumed that people were unsubscribing, assumed that people didn't like my content, that I was being annoying, that I was going to fail, that, oh, I'm doing this promo and I need this money and now I'm not going to reach my goals. Stopped scheduling my emails, totally fucked up my energy. You want to be in a certain energy when you're sending content, creating and sending content, right? I do a lot of like woo-woo things to my emails before I send them. Maybe that's another episode for another day. Send me a DM if you want me to do that. I'm happy to. But I would have stopped doing that, gone into the back end of things, looked at the unsubscribe numbers, looked at what was happening with the emails, and started spiraling, freaking out, totally ruined my mood, totally shifted my energy into assuming the worst. And that's the thing. I used to assume failure. I used to assume people were not wanting what I'm selling, that people were not magnetized to my content. And there was like this toxic attachment to outcomes like revenue and numbers and amounts and the audience responses. Like I was almost like in this toxic relationship with my business and the results in my business. And I've done so much work like training my brain. I literally trained my brain to think positively first and to assume the best, to assume positive outcomes instead of spiraling into doubt. And all of this inner work I've done with, EFT and, taking every thought captive and shifting it to how I want to feel and what results I really want, and embracing a mindset of abundance and growth and alignment. Like it's showing up. It's really starting to show up. And it's been showing up, but this was just a really cool moment where I super saw it show up and I noticed it. And there is something called that I want to shift your attention here and help you get to this place, because there is something called the law of assumption, which I believe was introduced by Neville Goddard. Basically, assumption is a very powerful energy. Assuming is a very powerful state to be embodying. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're about to go sit down in a chair and you're going to sit down in it with confidence. You don't even really think about the chair failing or not failing. You're just assuming the chair is going to support you when you sit down in it. Versus assuming, what if this chair has a broken leg? Oh my God, there's something wrong with the chair. I'm going to fall and I'm going to embarrass myself in front of everybody. It's not going to support my weight. It's going to be so embarrassing. And you're like assuming the worst. The way that you would sit down in that chair is going to be vastly different in each of these situations. Assuming the chair is going to support you, you're going to carry yourself a certain way. You're going to sit a certain way. You're going to hold yourself a certain way as you put your weight on the chair. Assuming or having fear that it's going to collapse, you're going to carry yourself and sit very differently, right? Assumptions influence behavior and influence results. This is even shown in multiple different scientific studies where the assumptions of the people conducting the studies affected the matter of the things being studied. Also, the placebo effect. When people assume something, it changes how their bodies respond, the mind-body connection. There's so much proof of this. Assuming is such a powerful state. So shift. Instead of assuming the worst, instead of assuming that people are unsubscribing because you're annoying, instead of assuming that people don't want to hear from you, instead of assuming that you're going to fail, that it's not going to make the money you want to make it, and putting all your mental energy, sometimes unconsciously, into something that you don't actually want, shift to training your brain to give an automatic response that's positive. Shift to assuming the best, feeling aligned with what you want and deciding that it's yours and co-creating that with the universe. So for me, it was it wasn't even about, it wasn't even about whether or not these people were unsubscribing or staying subscribed and joining the club. And that's why the number went down. I didn't even look into it. I still don't even know. It wasn't about that. It's the fact that I assumed that people are joining. And so people did. The promotion is ending now and people joined. The magnetic marketing toolkit is something new I created. That was the big bonus. That was if you join by the deadline, you get this. That was a huge hit. I added a couple handfuls of new members to CEO Club in just a couple of days, which is a big deal. And I got what I wanted. I got the result that I wanted. I tested out this new product and that went really well. And I made money in the process because they joined CEO Club to get it. Now it's a standalone product and it's just going from there. But I assumed the best. I assumed people were joining. I assumed they wanted it. And even if those people, those specific people that made the number go down, even if they were unsubscribing and they didn't join, others did. And that's the whole point. I assume people are joining. I assume people want what I'm selling. I assume that I'm magnetic to the right people and repellent to the wrong people. And that's the way I want it. And I assume that. I assume that it's good. I assume that I'm successful. I assume people want to buy my shit. The energy of assumption is so powerful. And that shows up in the success of this promo that I just did, or that I'm wrapping up, the success of everything that I do. And even when something isn't initially as successful the way I want it to be, it ultimately is successful. Even in the fucking mess and burn down of my old business and all of the stress that came with that, it was successful because of where I am today. And I assume that. Sometimes I faltered and needed to come back to, center. But in general, I'm always assuming that things work out for me. And that is something I trained myself to do. It feels effortless. It feels aligned. It feels balanced. And it's such a safety net. I assume that I'm going to be successful. And so I am, even if it's, there's a bump in the road or something. Like, I always get the results flowing to me that I want because I trust and I'm in alignment with that. I'm in the energy of assuming that it's going to happen. And so it does. And again, to nerd out for a second, when you do that, when you decide something and you assume something, your brain kicks on in a certain way to prove it right and to make it happen. Your reticular activating system kicks on and it starts filtering things in that are going to support you and making what you're assuming happen. So going back to the chair example, if I'm about to sit down on a chair and I'm like, oh my God, I'm wearing a dress and there's people here. What if I fall and everyone sees up my skirt and I'm super embarrassed and the chair gives out or I'm too heavy for that chair? I'm assuming that something bad is going to happen. And maybe that's not going to make the chair have a broken leg because it already did not have a broken leg. But assuming something like that is going to happen can make my brain kick on and start having all these thoughts and problems and processing things in a certain way that makes me trip on my way to the chair or makes me sit down on the far right side instead of center and slip off the chair. It can and will make something happen. Maybe that I sit down in the chair just fine, but a few minutes later, I move in the chair a certain way and it makes a horrible fart noise and embarrasses me or something, or I fall out of the chair or something is going to happen because I'm assuming the worst. In one way or another, I know that I'll be embarrassing myself in that setting because I'm assuming that something bad is going to happen. I'm assuming the worst, and so the worst will come. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what do you want to be fulfilled? Stop carrying the energy of failure, of judgment from others, of negativity in your business. Shift your focus to what you want to create and give that your energy. Assume the best. That's your mantra. Assume the best. Believe in the possibilities. Believe in the positive outcomes. When you assume your messaging will resonate, it does. When you assume that people are going to be negative and come in hating on you, they're going to. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone into something where there was like a lot of people there and I was just happy. I was confident. I was grounded. And my assumption was this is going to go well. This is going to be great. And it does. Sure, every rare once in a while, maybe some rando pops in, trying to troll or be rude, but it doesn't affect me at all. I just get them out and move on and I'm fine because my assumption is the people that are here to be supported by me and to support me. And it's a give and take of energy and it's going to feel really good. And I'm assuming the best. The times that I have assumed something bad is going to happen, people are going to be mad at me. They're not going to like this. Oh, I better. And I prepare for it too. Have team members there to make sure whatever. It always makes it happen. There's negative people. There's negative Nellies saying shit and trying to bring me down and causing problems inside my spaces and on my live streams and stuff. Or weirdos like weird men from somewhere saying shit on the live because I assumed and I prepared for it. And so it happened. Prepare for the best. Assume the best. Trust that if it's not this group of people that say yes, it's going to be another. If it wasn't those people that were, when the numbers dropped, when I was segmenting out these emails, when those numbers of people that were receiving these emails dropped, if they didn't subscribe and it wasn't them that joined CEO Club, it's another group of people. And it was, and it will still continue to be. The energy you carry and the assumptions you make directly impact your results because you are a powerful creator. Your job as an entrepreneur is to assume the best. It is to retrain your brain and align with the outcomes you desire through the energy of assumption, assuming the launch is going to go well, assuming you're going to come out the other side with all the lessons you need to make it even better next time, assuming that every single thing that happens is for your benefit, even if it's not the exact way you wanted it, it's happening for you. It's good. You've got this. It's going to be good. It's going to come out for the best. Always assume the best. Now, I have a couple of things for you. First of all, I created an Assume the Best workbook. This is something that is totally free. It is my gift to you through this episode. I'm going to help you retrain your brain to assume the best. I don't just want to pep talk you and drop you. You guys know I've got these tools to rewire. I'm going to give them to you. So this is a super juicy, amazing freebie. You are definitely going to want to get this one. AliCasasa.com/BE links. Go snag it. I am looking at it right now. It's beautiful. It's so amazing. The way you think literally creates the outcomes that you experience. Your brain is like a little builder, constantly constructing your reality based on what you assume, believe, and focus on. The problem is that most of us are running on outdated blueprints of fear, doubt, and negativity. And so that's what we're getting. But you don't have to stay stuck there. You do have the power to rewrite the narrative, shift your thinking patterns, and assume the best about every situation, every single time. And when you do, magic happens. Suddenly, everything starts supporting you. Everything is there to support you because you assumed it. And this is not just some fluffy, feel-good bullshit advice. This is neuroscience, my love. So let me show you how to rewire your brain, retrain your thoughts, and step into this unstoppable, abundant energy, this version of you who gets exactly what she wants because she assumed it is so, and so it is. Go to allicasaza.com/BE links, get the Assume the Best workbook. Let's work through this together. We're going to go through these game-changing mental shifts in a 3-step neuroscience framework for positive assumptions, okay? Now, before we hop off, I also want to mention the amazing new thing I made, the Magnetic Marketing Toolkit. This is a paid product, but it is over 70% off right now. You can grab it for $27. This is limited. There's I think there's like a day or two left in this. So you'll see when you listen to this, the timer will guide you. But okay, so I designed this toolkit to change the way that you market in your business forever. And marketing is the way you show up, the energy you're in, the way you communicate your offers, the way you communicate, educating people about what you do and connecting with people, everything. So if your messaging is off, if it's not magnetic and it's not feeling good to you, then it won't be magnetic. But if it's not magnetic, then you're going to be stuck. So if you've been feeling super stuck, like you're, same old analogy, throwing that spaghetti at the wall and just nothing is sticking, nothing is working, you're probably in a cycle of hustle. And hustle does not create lasting success. Clarity does. You need clarity about what actually works, clarity about who you're speaking to, clarity about how to take action in a way that moves the needle forward without burning yourself out. So inside the Magnetic Marketing Toolkit, you're going to get proven content formulas to take the guesswork out of what to post and help get your brain going. Funnel frameworks that I've created over the past decade. I've created a ton of funnels and a fuck ton of money, millions and millions of dollars for myself and my clients. So funnel frameworks that are going to guide your audience seamlessly from follower to buyer in a way that feels really good and not salesy. And neuroscience audios to rewire your mindset for confidence and clarity every day. This is valued at a few $100s. I've priced it for now at $97, and then I knocked that shit down. It's $27 right now. Go to allicasaza.com/BE links and look for the Magnetic Marketing Toolkit. You can snag that for $27. This is loaded. This is really, really good. You get access to this whole Google Drive of all these different worksheets, resources, audios, everything that you need to support you. allicasaza.com/BE links. Look for the Assume the Best workbook and the Magnetic Marketing Toolkit for $27. The Assume the Best workbook is free. I got you. I love you. Please subscribe to the show. Leave a review. Also, if you leave a review and you screenshot that shit and you send it to us, hello@allicasaza.com, we send you a free hypnosis. And I'm a certified hypnotherapist. This is a certified, legitimate hypnosis session that will rewire your brain to be a 6-figure CEO. If you listen to hypnosis every day for 21 days, did you know that you form new neural pathways in accordance with whatever your mind was taking in from the hypnosis? So I'm just saying, why the fuck not? It's free. I love you. I will see you next week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. I love you so much.